Hey everybody, welcome to the next segment of Creepy Tales with Michelle. I'm a paranormal investigator of 15 years, sharing my stories and my followers' stories. This one happens to be a real life story, not a haunting, but about a spooky crime. So thought I would share. I visited this location many years ago. These photos are photos I actually took there. So I thought I would share this with you. This is Airtight Bridge, one lane country road bridge there on a gravel road, very rural. It is located in Coles County, Illinois, and Ashmore, Illinois. It is 8 miles north of Charleston, Illinois, to give you some idea. It's a very, very, very remote location. Had a little bit of a ride trying to find the correct bridge, but did find it. So this is the bridge. This story starts in 1980 on October 19th. So we're almost exactly at the anniversary that the finding of this crime happened. Two men were here out hanging out. Bridge was commonly used for fishing and swimming and stuff like that, the creek below. Two men were out here and made a horrible, gruesome discovery, and they had found a body. And it was not whole. So yeah, they were friends with the sheriff, and they called and made the report of what they had found. The sheriff came out, and it only came out alone, the articles state. He honestly thought these were his buddies playing a trick on him by what they described. So he got out there, and they were like, why did you not bring the, more people? Where are the rest of the squad here? And he was like, oh, sure, you guys are just pulling my leg or whatever, and goes to take a look and verifies that, yes, it is a body, and it is missing the limbs and the head. Yeah, so definitely goes and gets some backup. Unfortunately, this case takes 12 years before there is a break in the case and we find the identity of the remains found. And the reason that it was not discovered is they had assumed in Coles County that it was most likely somebody local because of the remote location she was found in. Kind of not something passerbyers would have found normally. So they were assuming this was a missing person they were going to find locally, and they never found a lead. However, 12 years later, a missing persons report is filed. The victim's sister found out from her husband somehow that she had been missing. Unfortunately, the victim and her family were estranged, kind of all split up different ways and not in touch anymore. But when the sister heard that she had been missing, she went to the husband and approached him and didn't like his responses and found out no missing persons report was ever filed. So she filed the missing persons report, which triggered the connection to the sheriff's department in Coles County. And they were actually able to get a lead and identify her. The victim's name was Diana Marie Reardon Small. Diana Small. She was from Bradley, Illinois, which was about 100 miles away, to give you a reference. So they went to, some measure to get her away from where she lived. Here's a little view off the side of the bridge, just to give you an idea kind of what the area looks like. Super remote, literally was nothing there. This is off the other side. I'm not sure which side she was actually found on. So now after that missing persons report was filed, they were able to connect it and identify her. And that was in 1992, 12 years after her remains were found on the river. So in 1992, which was 12 years later now, they have identified her, and they have, for the first time in 12 years, they have a solid suspect, because they have her ID. So the suspect becomes her husband, Thomas. He's subject to lots of interrogation, and they do lots of investigation to try to find evidence of what they think he did, and they're unsuccessful, unfortunately, for a very long time. He's still a free man. 1 year after they had found her remains, they had to decide what to do with them, seeing how she was unidentified at the time, and they laid her to rest in Charleston's Mound Cemetery. She remained unID'd on her stone, of course, until they were identify her in 1992, but it takes them all the way until 2008 before one of the family members updates the stone with her name, and she still rests in Charleston's Mound Cemetery. It takes until 2016, and they have a break in the case finally, and thank goodness they get some clarity. Finally, her husband, Thomas Small, confesses to the murder while being interrogated again. So after all of these years, he finally admits that he is the one who did it. They had had a domestic dispute, which apparently had come to blows, and he admits to unaliving her. This story is just really heartbreaking and disturbing. I realize, so I hope that you guys mind hearing it. It's just, I can't describe to you, like, being here. This is my photo from, I of course edited it to black and white, but I can't describe to you guys how it felt to be there and to feel the energy there and to wonder what this poor lady must have went through. I was on another trip and just made a little side trip. So, if you are ever in Coles County, Illinois, and you want to stop by and see this piece of history, this is Airtight Bridge, and you can find it on maps. And may she rest in peace. Thanks for listening, guys. See you next time.